Hello, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well today. So, I know a few people that normally would be here are doing their lives, including Lash's Journey, who will be appearing later tonight on other channels as well. So, I'm really happy for her and happy to see her doing her own thing as well. So, today, this afternoon, we will be talking about the Backrooms. Oh. So, to give you guys some idea, the Backrooms is a creepypasta original story. So, for you guys who don't know, creepypastas are these short story folklores that are put on, of course, the creepypasta website itself. So, I put all this information on in the description. So, don't worry if you don't know where to find these stories. It's all in the description. You'll be able to click the link and everything else. Okay. So, creepypastas, like I said, are folklore, modern day folklores created by people like you and I. So they're not written by professional authors who have years and years of training or people that took English literature in university. There may be just very creative individuals or people that were basically bored, and really was looking to do something. Now, some of you may have heard of creepypasta before without even knowing that you've learned about creepypastas. There have been quite a few stories that have come out from the creepypasta website. One of the most infamous stories is the one of Slenderman. Ooh, Slenderman is one of those that, if you notice, in fact, I'll try to get a picture of him. There were a couple of teen girls that unfortunately canceled a victim in his name. And that's why I say infamous, because basically it took on a life of its own. And that's usually what happens. Not that, people. Get canceled over these stories, but usually the creepy pastas end up becoming way more than its original conception or story. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick peek out at Slender Man. So just give me a second here to get share that link with you guys of Slender Man, so you guys have an idea of who I'm talking about. So this is the infamous Slender Man. And as you can see, he was also a feature of a movie dedicated to him and only him. And it kind of became something else with that movie, but that's a different topic for a different day. But just to give you guys a basic idea of what we're talking about, right? So that's Slender Man. But today we're talking about the Backrooms. So, what are the Backrooms? The Backrooms started off as a short story on, like I said, Creepypasta. It came out in July 2019 on the Creepypasta website. It was created by the user. Let me find his name so I can credit him properly, by user Clay Kid 12345. Okay. And it is a short story. You can probably read it within 5 minutes, give or take, not that much more. Now, with a lot of the creepypasta stories, it often is tied in, like I said earlier, to other elements. The author, in this case, based his story on a particular um, image that he saw from a 4chan publication, and I did include that in the description. But I'll show you guys as well the image that you see here, so that you guys have a sense of what it is that I'm talking about. So give me a second here while I go ahead and show you guys the screen. So this is the original image that uh, based his story on. I'll stay on this page for a second because I do want to show you guys. So this is the official creepypasta story of the Backrooms. But as you can see, I'll go scroll up here. It usually gives you a background of the backroom, the development, and the influences of the story. So you can sort of expand a little bit on the stories if that's applicable, right? But a lot of the stories, especially since this one came out about going to be 3 years in July of this year, there is a lot of backstory and a lot of other elements that have now grown into this short story, right? So the short story, as you can see, I'll show you guys here. Um, it literally starts right here. So I can't read it out loud because this is a copyrighted material, but you see it starts right there, goes under the picture, and then it ends right there. So that's how long the original story. So, like I said, 5 minutes is basically all you need to do to read the whole story. So, you're not going very far with the original story. What are the back rooms? Well, essentially, what happens is you're transported into another world, another dimension. Now, like I said, there was a lot of world building. So, this other world in the original story, it is really only that back room that you saw in the image that's being talked about. So, this yellow, dingy, almost like empty office space that basically goes on through infinity, right? And the person that gets stuck there, oh my God, I hear these noises, I hear this growling, what's going on, and has no idea. And the story pretty much just ends there. However, with the world building, uh, the back rooms become so much more than that. All right. So in the description this of this video, I also include the wiki to the back rooms. Okay, so that you guys can go afterwards to sort of explore it a little bit more yourselves if you haven't already. And I saw that somebody already took a poll. At least two people took a poll, and you guys said that you already know about the back room. So this may not necessarily be something all too new for you guys. But for those who don't know it, hopefully you will take a moment to look and explore for yourself. But I won't go too in depth. This is a new topic for me. I, until maybe 2 weeks ago, never heard of the back rooms, although I do, every once in a while go on to creepy pastas, but I really don't spend a whole lot of time reading the stories. I think the only other story I heard about before was Slender Man, and I read a couple stories and kind of moved on from there. But basically, the back rooms, you're in an alternate dimension that there's no real explanation as to how you get yourself into that world. At least not in the original. And at least not into the original story. Now, of course, in the world building, they do use specific lingo, and okay, you're blinking into that other dimension, and you have different levels, etc., etc., right? But in the original story, you only have the one floor, which is, like I said, that yellow, dingy, empty office space room that you saw earlier that just goes on through infinity. There's also no food, no clothing, no bathroom, nothing, right? So you're basically just in an empty room by yourself, or at least you think that you're there by yourself. In the original story, like I said, he does hear footsteps, he does hear growling. So there is, in the original story, potential other world life. And it was with those little bit of hints that the world building, that the lore kind of comes into play, and that you see that there are other things that are happening. Hello, Black Money Corp. How are you? I hope you're doing very well, sir. I'm doing I'm a little bit under the weather, but I hope I'm going to get better soon. But I did take, some cough medicine and a couple Tylenol. So for now, I'm okay. And I hope you're feeling a lot better than I'm feeling. And let me know if you're going live today or that you have a video coming up, because I do want to show you some support as well. And let me know if you've heard about the Backrooms or not. Okay, or if you have, if there's maybe another creepypasta story that you want me to go into in a later on video, because I do want to make this into a series where I talk about creepypasta, or as the title um, of the video shows, that I don't want to go into like the quote unquote weirder side of YouTube. Oh, you like the topic? Okay, great, great. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Um, Perfect, excellent. Thank you for keeping me posted. But yeah, I do try to, check out the notification. But I, like so many people, I follow so many people that sometimes it's hard to keep track of who's doing what and when and why and all that. Right. So, anyways, we'll keep going. So, part of the world building with the back rooms is that they added on basically a total of 12 floors, including this original floor that we saw briefly in the image that I showed earlier. I won't keep the image on too long. It is technically copyrighted, and I don't want to get myself into too much trouble. So basically, in that room, that level, that's level 0 in the original mythology of, excuse me, of the back rooms. That one, basically, all the rooms are rectangular. The dimensions are variable. Some of the rooms you can't go through them at all. Some of them appear too big. Whatever the case might be, right? Generally speaking, it tends to be safe and sound, but you're limited on food and water supplies, right? So you kind of have to either hopefully come in with already some food, some means to cook, maybe some means to go to the bathroom, whatever, or you have to hope that, again, part of the world building is that there are colonies as well that live there. Some are scientific colonies, or some, like in the original story, are individuals that just happen to get there accidentally. Excuse me. So, it and I've seen a lot of variations of the stories. So that's why I'm not going too much into too much detail, because obviously, some of the stories talk about almond water, which is, a source of nutrition in the back room. Some talk about red liquid, which is a poison and acidic, so it's dangerous to human beings to consume or to have touch their skin. So there's nothing really that's telling me, okay, this one thing is definite part of the quote unquote backroom worlds, or this is more of a particular individual's interpretation of the backrooms, right? A lot of it is just individuals coming up with their own stories and their own interpretation of the backrooms, which is fine. I mean, that's part of what's enjoyable about the backrooms, is that you can sort of add on your own interpretations and add on your own, well, I think this is how it would operate, right? And the story is, the original story is very short. And the author leaves a lot to the imagination, right? So there's no one mythos that's the end all be all of the world, right? And then as you get to the other levels, again, how you get from one level to the other slightly depends on what mythos that you're going through, but often there are some kind of portal that allows you to get to the second level if you're on level 0. Now, even the numbering of the levels will vary depending on what particular mythos you're in with the back rooms, because for some of them, that yellow, dingy original floor will be floor number 1 and not floor number 0, right? Now, as the numbers increase, the more danger you're in, because with these mythos, you end up with what's called entities, right? And these entities are creatures that, like Speakerhead, right? That is integrated into one of the mythos that I saw, where they can potentially attack you and cause or cause harm to you. Um, So you really want to avoid, as much as possible, going into other levels. If you can, stay with level zero, but depending on your situation, if you don't have a lot of food, you may need to get to a level six, for example, wherein one of the mythos is, can make you go crazy, but you have a lot of food. Because that's the other aspect of the back rooms, because you're often dealing with either escaping the entities, or you're dealing like the level zero or level one, depending on the mythos you're in. You're dealing with endless repeating or seemingly repeating rooms, right? The rooms look barely different, right? Everything looks alike, right? Or you're dealing with a level that's very cold, very hot. Some of the levels are flooded. Some of the levels are filled with nothing but dangerous animals or entities, however you want to call them, right? While as level six has endless supply of food. Okay, but the catch, like I said, is because it's playing of this very particular 20s 30s style jazz music, that can basically drive you crazy. Many people go into that level and end up mad. And even if you go into the level as a group, right? So let's say you're five people that go there together, you all end up separated and individual. Okay, so there's only one of you basically at any time. So all six of you are in the room, are in the level, I should say, but you're never together with another person, right? So every level has its aspect that can be very good for you, but oftentimes you'll have an aspect of it that will be very horrible and very terrifying. And that only gets worse, like I said, the deeper you go into the other levels. Okay. So Speakerhead, like I said, is another one of those entities that you might come across, again, depending on what lore that you're talking about and what mythos that you're dealing with, right? So that's the other thing that I enjoy about creepypastas in general, is that they often start off as independent stories, but they end up sort of cross sectioning with each other and really referring one to the other, right? And what's really enjoyable about the Backrooms is that one of the first videos that I saw was somebody who was just, shooting. And, that's the thing with YouTube. I can't show you the original video that I saw. I might try to link it in the description so that you guys can watch it for yourself. But it was just a kid, you could tell that he was an amateur director, and just playing around with his friends, and he was filming them, and you see him accidentally get into the back rooms, right, and try to escape Speakerhead. It was, to me, it was scary, and I'm not the kind of person that, excuse me, that gets scared fairly easily. So I was very scared by that YouTube, and I think it was maybe 5-10 minute video, not even, right? And I thought it was really well done. It really represented the creepiness and the scariness and the unease of the back room. Because to me, the original story, that's what made it really great, is the fact that it's not so much that the world could be explained and there was a definite way out and we all knew what it was, where it was. It's an alternate dimension created by scientists or whatever the case might be, right? It's the fact that nobody knows what it is. The original character got stuck in it. I don't even think that we know his name in the original story, etc., right? So you're just going in this world completely blank. You have no points of reference. There doesn't seem to be any time there. There's no day, there's no night, since you're not seen outside, right? You're seeing literally walls, floors, and ceilings, and that's it. You're not seeing outside. You're not seeing other people. Again, depend on your mythos. If you're dealing with the original story, there's nobody there than just some basic noise of footstep and growling, okay, that you only hear twice, right? Now, part of the mythos as well is the fact that there's no escape to the back rooms, okay? So obviously, in the original story, the guy hears the original footsteps and the ground, and he runs away as far as he can get. Of course, gets exhausted and sits down and rests. And some time passes, and again, it's unclear as much for the protagonist as it is for us, the reader, how much time has passed. But we can assume quite a few hours have passed, and he realizes, oh my god, I'm really here and I'm really stuck here and I have no way out. And in the missile, so when you're having the 12 floors, that's all that's really that they're building on, is the fact that you're going from one floor to another floor to another floor. And again, it's only getting worse and worse and worse, and you cannot escape back to the real world, aka the front rooms, right? So us right now, we're in the front rooms, right? We're in quote unquote our reality. Okay. So another thing that it ties in is to that sense of the Matrix as well, right? Because the Matrix had that idea that there's more to reality than what we're seeing, right? So there's the idea that we have our perceived reality, and then we have the real reality, right? So if you're not part of the right group, you might think that the real reality, the front room, so the reality that we're in, me being on YouTube and Black Money Corp in a chat talking to me or whatever, we all think that that's the real reality, right? But in the Matrix and in the back rooms, they're saying, no, 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 that might not be the reality, right? It might be the back rooms are the reality, and we go into this reality to escape it, or vice versa, right? So that kind of uh, questioning what is real, right? I don't know if you guys ever read the philosopher Descartes, Descartes, right? He's a mathematician. He's the one who came up. If you guys did math, that the Cartesian map that you always had to find the point on this Cartesian map. He's the guy that came up with that idea. I think, therefore I am, right? So he was also one of those philosophers that separated mind from body and really pushed people to think, what is reality, right? I'm not who I am because I have a body, because I have senses. I see things, I touch things, I can have interaction with Black Money Corp, with whoever's, you know what I mean? Is that reality, or is it something else? Because when we dream, we're also talking with people, we're also having interactions. But it's when we wake up, we realize, oh, wait, no, I was just dreaming, right? So our minds and bodies can be tricked. The only thing that we can be guaranteed is that because I'm here thinking, because I'm here talking, and I have my own cognition, that's what makes my reality. That's what makes me know that I am real, regardless of if everything else is fake, right? Regardless of whether I'm in reality or if I'm in the back rooms or front rooms, whatever the case might be, right? So, regardless of whether I'm part of the matrix or not, the fact that I can think, the fact that I can think of my own, even if you come out here and say, well, your thoughts are programmed by the computer, I'm still thinking, right? I'm still having thoughts. I'm self-aware, right? I know my name is She Stole My Thunder, that I've been living for so many years, etc., etc. I'm self-aware, all right? Uh, so that's basically my exploration of the back room so far. Like I said, I wish I could come out here and show you some of the videos and so forth of it. But I will go into the Wikipedia, the wikis, because I did want to go to the Wikipedia page, and there was a Wikipedia page for the backrooms, but unfortunately, yesterday it got no, Friday I should say, it got deleted. So it was like really frustrated. The one time I was like, okay, let me go prepare myself for once and thoroughly go through a Wikipedia to find out as much as I possibly can. Unfortunately, yeah, unfortunately, the Wikipedia page got deleted, but the wiki is still up. So we'll try to go to the wiki now. So let me just go open it up. Just give me a second here, guys. Backrooms. There's also a couple of Backrooms video games that have been created. And like I said, with the Backrooms, what's interested is that, like quite a few of the creepypastas, it started off on a photo that was posted in the Creepypasta 4chan channel there. Um, so it's a kind of, that's what's enjoyable about creepypastas. It sort of has, especially at one point now, not so much. It did become a sort of melting pot, a meeting place for all different minds to come together. Hey, I have this photo that's really creepy, but I can't think of a story. So you'll have somebody, oh, I have a story for that picture. Let me figure it out. And then another person, oh, I have a video game that would really be great for this, etc., etc. Right? So I'm just going to go to the Wikipedia page so that way you guys will have. No, that's not the right one. Let me go to the right Wikipedia wiki page for this. There we are. All right. So all right. All right. So I'm there. Okay. So I don't know. Yesterday, I don't know if it's changed or if it's just me not finding the right one, but it had a more description of each floor. Da, da, da. Let me just find the right section. Okay. Excuse me. All right, so here we'll go with this one. Here we are. So I'm going to show you guys quickly a little bit of some of the lore. Hello, hello, Lash's Journey. Did you end your live? Oh no, I see you're still going on your live, but you have other people. Yeah, thank you for your support, Lash's Journey. I know that I see you getting your nails done, so you're probably busy with your baby and everything else. So I'm, excuse me, going to show you guys quickly here the wiki, and I'll actually go into here. I'll copy paste it for you guys in the chat. So please explore the. So if you guys want to explore the back rooms at different levels, let me know. It's there for you guys. They're gonna come, but I'm gonna go through this, but you guys can come along with me and click on that link if you so choose. So we're going to go, I'm going to show you guys level 0. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a pixie, peeky into it, little looky-loo. So this is what they're talking about. Level 0, the lobby, right? So as we can see, we have the original image that was shared on 4chan on the in May of 2019. So it'll be 3 years in May and 3 years in July since the story was created. As you can see, it's considered safe, secure, and minimal entity count. So entities are essentially all the monsters that live in the back rooms, right? And there's different kinds of monsters depending on what levels you're on, right? But the first level, so level 0, is considered the safest one since there are, like I said earlier, barely any entities and tends to have sorry, the least amount of other kinds of dangers that you're going to have. Because with the other levels, what might happen, like I said earlier, is that you might have floors that are flooded. You might have levels that are considered the power sources, so you're at risk to heat because of the boilers or whatever the case might be, right? So you want to stay at level one, but as I said earlier, you also have very little food supply there, right? So unless you plan on going in there with a plan with major food supply, there's nothing guaranteed in there. So as you can see, it's resembling the back rooms of a retail outlet and not a office space like I thought, but you could, yeah, see it as a retail outlet as well, right? So the light also flickers constantly, and there's a constant hum that you hear in this floor as well. It's considered as damp and really musty smelling, right? So overall, you may not like being there, but you may have to be there if you don't want to face the dangers of the other levels that exist, right? So level one, which, like I said, depending on the story, you might have different ways to get to this level. So this is level one, where it's more, I'll zoom out. As you can see, it's more concrete basement type of level. And you have, again, it's, unsafe, but it's secure and minimal. So again, you're really being exposed to, not too much food and all of that. And as you can see, you have colonies and outposts. So colonies and outposts are really these groups of people that live on the different floors. Some of the floors are not inhabitable because either there's just too many entities, so too many of the monsters, quote unquote, that can come there and attack people, or there's just no food supply. There's no way to live there. I think level 12 is basically an ocean, so you can't really live there per se. So obviously, some of the levels you basically have to get out there ASAP, pretty much, right? So outposts are basically um, oftentimes research centers that were sent into the back rooms to explore and figure out what they were, how this world was created. Is it a parallel universe? Is it a new universe? Is it part of our own universe? Are we its parallel universe? Is that the real reality and we're just escaping to this reality? What's going on, right? Um, so you also have colonies where it's just basically people trying to inhabit the world and trying to come together to really organize and help each other out a little bit as well. So I won't go further into it, but as you can see, I just want to give you guys a visual idea of the back rooms and really give you some more backstory on the back rooms. So there's a lot of wormhole elements that you could go to with the back rooms and really go down deep into it with this story. But I don't really want to, because I'm still exploring this world myself, and to me, this is much more of a um, a creepypasta that's much more great as an ARG, right? An alternative reality game, right? It's much more enjoyable to explore it like that than it is for me to just sit here and explore. Now, I will take 2 seconds to see if I can find the original video that I watched, and I'll try to share it uh, in the chat. That way you guys can. Oh, that's the one right there. First one. All right. Okay, so obviously I won't play the audio. So this is. I'm gonna go here. So this is what brought me down the wormhole. So, guys, feel free to check out that video. So, that's the video that I saw that brought me into this whole thing to begin with. I'm also going to end the poll and let's see the results. But I think 50% of you said no, that you did not know about creepy pastas. Okay. Oh, 25. Okay, so 25% of you said no, you did not know about creepy pastas at all. 50% of you said yes. 25% said, I love pasta, creepy or not. Yeah, yes. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you guys like this particular episode. Um, like I said, for me, the creepy pastas are a great way to sort of have access to short stories and horror stories and world building without necessarily feeling like you have to get, excuse me, be part of the Hollywood world, right? These are kind of the horror for the everyday folk, right? They're created by people like you and me who just want to write stories, see weird things, and hey, what about this? What about that? And we can all just contribute and sort of come together to sort of add to that world building, right? It's definitely contributive. Definitely, it has to be this or else, it's no, it can be whatever your imagination wants it to be. All right. So I hope you guys found this interesting. Thank you, Lashes, for running me on your phone. Much appreciated. But I will be ending the live in a second because I pretty much said what I needed to say about creepy pastas. Sorry about the back rooms. And I do want to have this more of these kinds of episodes where I talk about creepy pasta or the weird things that sometimes you find on YouTube on your own as you're going through the rabbit hole exploring, click here, click there, do this, do that, and how did I get to this again? So I hope you guys do click on the links. Excuse me. Do check out the things that I showed, and I will be changing my description to add the video that I also brought me into this whole world. So have a great day, guys. I will be going live again tonight. I set the time for 8 p.m. Tonight. I do know that Lashes will be on Wealth Engineering tonight at 8 p.m., but that's absolutely fine, guys. If you want to, go support her, don't mind me. I absolutely have no problems with that. I'll probably have, like I have now, 5 different tabs going, playing 10 different people. So I hope you guys have a great afternoon, and I will see you guys in the Lashes Journey Live that's going on now. Have a great one, and thank you for spending some time with me. Bye, guys. Bye.